so interested in seeing what him and Quinn Ewers do this year. There's been so much hype.
We should have a pretty dangerous running back in Blake Corum.
Maryland's got Talia Tagovailoa.
Yeah.
A little too backyard footballers.
What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? It is your boy Sean Spencer, one half of that dynamic duo that is Let's Talk Football. And yes, we're here on a Wednesday. We're on a Wednesday night, and I'm here with my guy because this is a special night. It's the middle of bowl season, right after Christmas, after Boxing Day. Alex Schomberg, how you doing, my guy? How you going, man?
Doing well. Kind of nice to reset with the holidays, watch some football. Obviously, big one for you guys tonight, and some massive games coming up in the next few days.
Oh, yeah, no doubt. And ladies and gentlemen, forgive me if I'm looking to the left because I got the game over here.
Same with me.
Right. We're going to bring in our guy, Alec, a little bit later, but we wanted to get into some of these games real quick. Want to shout out our guy, North Sports Dynasty, Mr. Andrew Phobia. What up, Phobes? Saying first. Yeah, buddy. Appreciate
keeping
you.
That tradition going.
Oh, absolutely. Yo, Phobes, you had my fiance doing that yesterday on the show. About she was first. I guess I'm first. I was like, what? You don't even – oh, my goodness. Craziness. But look, ladies and gentlemen, you know why we're here. We're here to talk about this college football scoreboard, the bowl mania. We're in the middle of all of these – great bowls. It's hard to keep up. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Because you sit here and miss a day, and all of a sudden you're like, what? 4 or 5 bowls just happened? Like, what happened?
Yeah, it's insane.
Yeah. So we're gonna try to just keep with this week, starting with Monday. You had the Quick Lane Bowl with New Mexico State versus Bowling Green. Both of these teams barely got in here. Both were at 6-6. But it was a fairly good game. Pretty one-sided for a little bit, and then New Mexico State had a good lead, and then Bowling Green started coming back.
Yeah, it was all New Mexico State in that first half. Bowling Green was moving the ball, but you had those 2 missed field goals. Bowling Green had that kick return on kind of that almost short kick. The returner, amazing patience, kind of let all those blocks set up, catching it from the 25. It's kind of a difficult return, but weaved his way through and got that touchdown.
Yeah.
You had blocked punts, you had safeties, you had Bowling Green trying to climb their way back in with 6 minutes left, but just didn't have enough. If they had another 5 minutes, then maybe, but you don't get that. So New Mexico State holds on to a close one here.
And look, New Mexico State, and shout out to him. I like their quarterback, this guy Diego Pavia. He reminds me of like a Doug Flutie, just a little small guy scrambling out and just running for his life. Or if you ever played a video game and you had like a quarterback with like really high speed attributes, all you did was just run with him. He was just running all over the place. And some of those passes, he was making the play, getting it wide open. It was good to see him kind of play. It made it fun. It made it interesting. But to your point, Bowling Green, it didn't look good early. Obviously got down 17-0 by the early third quarter. You had that kick return touchdown like you were talking about where he set up all the blocks, but still then you had a run by Watkins getting a 45-yard run. But Bowling Green stayed in there. They had they fumbled a couple times. Were able to get that, but they were also able to block the punt that was huge late in there trying to bring them back in the game. Shout out to them because, yes, they came short, but they never quit. They never died. That's why I think these bowl games are huge because these guys want to play. They want to get out here and get into this action.
Well, and for a lot of these guys, it's a celebration of the year they've had.
Yeah.
So whether you're a senior and you're playing your last game or you're one of these guys, say a freshman trying to fight for a spot next year, this is kind of the culmination of everything you've been through this year. So a lot of these guys want to show up and just go out with a bang.
Oh, absolutely. I hope so many people are watching. Cat saying, not sure about that Michigan hat. Just saying.
We're in the playoff.
Wow. Sorry, babe. I know I'm first in your heart. Yes, ma'am. And one of our old hosts who will be back on here. We're gonna try to get her on here for when we preview this Michigan game. Kate Alverson. What's going on, Kate? Glad you can join. But let's go ahead and move down the list. Going to the Camellia Bowl, Buffalo. Just survives Georgia Southern. Talk to me about this one, man. This was a good game.
Yeah, and it was, back and forth. Like, you had Georgia Southern, Buffalo, Georgia Southern, Buffalo, Georgia Southern, Buffalo. Like, it was back and forth for a long time, whether it was field goals or touchdowns. It was just score after score after score.
Yeah.
I kind of expected Georgia Southern to win this game. To me, that was the better of the two teams. But Buffalo kind of late third into the fourth quarter kind of had their run, and it was a little too much for Georgia Southern.
Yeah, absolutely. And look, Georgia Southern had their quarterback Van Treese, who actually was a former Buffalo quarterback. And look, early they got stopped in the red zone a couple of times. He was able to kind of try to bring them back late, but it was some of those early mistakes that were leading to those late field goals. Like you were saying, it was 1 point 14-14. And then you had a fumble recovered by Buffalo that led to a field goal. You had an interception thrown by Van Treese that was led to a field goal,
Yeah.
And to his credit, he tried to come back. But shout out to Buffalo, man. That two out of the last 3 years, they've gotten the victory in a bowl game. And that program is definitely on the upswing,
Yeah, and you've had solid players like a lot of people might forget, but Jarrett Patterson, a guy that went to you guys. Had that phenomenal season at running back. Like, you've got some good quality players that are going to Buffalo now because of the success you're having. So if you're a fan of Buffalo, I hope they keep it up because it's building in the right direction for them. Absolutely.
Oh yeah. I mean, we can go always back to Khalil Mack.
Yeah.
He was over there and he definitely put them on the map, man. So shout out to them. They definitely got the dub. Both these guys were 6-6. But they were able to make those strides. Oh yeah, Kate said, "I love when those MAC schools win." Absolutely.
Well, and that's one huge thing about bowl season too is you don't necessarily a lot of these people when you watch college football, you kind of focus to your team or even say your conference. Yes. When you get these bowl games, and especially over the holidays when you're at home, there's a lot of TV to watch, that kind of stuff. You can see all these. The MAC, the Sun Belt, like the American, the AAC, like all of these, you get these other conferences that you don't get to see too much, and you see them on national television. It's huge for these schools.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And honestly, that's my favorite watching. Like I love watching my team. Don't get it twisted, but I get very uptight and rigid and come on, guy. You know what I mean? In myself, when I can watch one of these games. With this, they're all over the place, double reverse, the flea flicker, all these things. I love that, and also because I don't have to worry about it. Like I don't have to stress.
You can just sit back and enjoy.
Exactly. So these games definitely do that. One of these teams that actually is pretty high powered, and it showed in this game. The first responder bowl, Memphis. Yeah, they put in that work. They whooped up on Utah State. Hennigan. 5 times, like Hennigan was dominating, or three TDs, but then you had Ducker getting a couple rushing touchdowns late in the game. Memphis just was walked all over Utah State, man. What are you thinking?
Yeah, and it was impressive because they did it kind of however they wanted to. You started off with in the beginning it was the rollout passes, the jet sweeps, the kind of lateral pass where he could throw or he could run.
Right.
But you use that run to set up the pass. All 3 first half touchdowns were set up by passes. I know the third one was kind of an RPO. The quarterback was looking to take off and kind of dumped it last second. But it was that threat of the run where Utah State had to crowd the box, and then you could just air it out. And shout out to those receivers for beating Utah State's corners and doing it early and often. But then Utah State in the second half their starting quarterback went down. And the backup, I can't think of his name right now, came in and kind of started to get them in a bit of a rhythm. They started moving the ball pretty quickly once he got in.
The backup was
Davenport,
Bishop Davenport. Yeah, went 7 of 9 for 100 yards and a touchdown and interception. But yeah, he did what he could. By that point, it was just it was just too much. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It couldn't do anything. But shout out to him, man. You talk about Hennigan with over 280 yards. You had Javion Ducker had those 2 touchdowns. And this Memphis is one of those teams that we were looking at one point in the season, kind of saying, okay, they can do something. A couple late losses, and you know, they're in this type of bowl. But I think they're a lot better than their record.
Oh, absolutely. I couldn't agree more with that, and I think they showed it in this game. We had similar records, and they just went in and manhandled them.
Oh, yeah. Because when I look at Utah State, I'm looking more of a New Mexico State. I'm looking more in that direction. But Memphis is one of those that's definitely on the rise. Shout out Antonio Gibson. We picked him up, and he was a receiver / kick returner, and we're kind of utilizing that stuff here in Washington. So, I can't think what his name is, but the guy, he's a wide receiver, Calvin Austin for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Another guy that came out of here. So, shout it out. Did West Virginia get into a bowl? I don't think so.
No, they did not. I think they only won 4 or 5 games. It wasn't quite enough to get in. But
they struggled late. Sorry, Kat. Sorry about that. Moving right along to another high-powered offense. Look, we talked about a lot of quarterbacks this year, but there's one person I don't think we've mentioned that much, and he needs a lot of support, a lot of attention. And it started off that first game of the year. Holton Ahlers of Eastern Carolina. We touted NC State in that first game. Holton Ahlers came in there and proved his point. If it wasn't for a missed extra point and a missed field goal, they win that game. That early in the year. He's always been that type of guy. And this was a coronation. This was, him kind of Supermaning on the whole thing. 5 TD passes. What did you think about this one, man?
Matt, my only thought watching the highlights of this game was, man, Holton Ahlers is that dude.
Yes, sir.
Coastal Carolina's been a good team all year.
Right.
And you go in and put that kind of performance up, almost half as many touchdowns as incompletions on the game.
Right.
That's absolutely insane. I don't know whether he's going to come back for that 6th season or not with that COVID year. I haven't heard one way or the other. He's got till the 16th of January to decide. If this is how he goes out, it was a hell of a way to go.
Oh, absolutely. That's a Jordan in the 6th game with the pose kind of thing. Look, he really did his thing, and and we have to shout him out for sure. But he has a running back, ladies and gentlemen, that I don't know if you guys have heard of. This guy's name is Keaton Mitchell. Over 1,300 yards, man. He reminds you of a guy that passed the 2,000-yard mark in the NFL that played for the Tennessee Titans named Chris Johnson.
Yeah. Who also played in Carolina.
Exactly. Eerily similar. This guy is great in the run game, but he's also great in the pass game, man. He can catch balls out of the backfield. And I'm going to tell you, man, this guy he's an elite talent that sometimes you might not be able to see because he is in East Carolina. This guy can ball out, man.
Yeah, and it's going to be exciting because he's only a sophomore, which means he's coming back next year.
Absolutely.
So especially if Holton Ahlers is gone, this is somebody you can absolutely rely on to run that offense. Almost 1,500 yards and 14 touchdowns in that heavy of a passing offense.
Right.
That's special. Yeah. This dude can ball for sure.
Yeah. So I'm definitely looking forward to seeing what he does, especially next year. And hopefully Holton Ahlers will stay. Speaking, though, of quarterbacks and potentially leaving, we know that their quarterback on the other side, Coastal Carolina, we've been talking about him all year, Grayson McCall, he's transferring. But he played in this game, and it was kind of questionable. He did pretty solid. He kept them in the game early. But then on a touchdown run, he kind of did a front flip and didn't fully clear it. Fell kind of awkwardly. They took him out of the game for the remainder of the game. Obviously, the score is what it is. But let me ask you first. We know he's transferring. We know he's already has aspirations to play elsewhere. Is that a smart move to play? I know you want to play with your guys, but
it's one of those things where you can't tell if it's a good decision or not until you get in there and play it.
Right.
Because if he goes and balls out, then it looks amazing because he has a great game against a good team who's also performing very well. But then if you go out and, for example, like this one, you get hurt, or if you come out and you don't play your best game, this is what teams are going to see most recently when they're trying to recruit you.
Yep. And
the other issue for me with all this, the transferring and then he's staying and playing, a lot of these schools are filling their roster spots already. Like, there's a lot of teams that have that QB1 set up for next year already. Right. So you're kind of running out of options if you're Grayson McCall, especially if you're trying to go to one of these top tier programs.
Right. Absolutely. So, hey, we'll see if that was a good move. Shout out to Reese White, who had 11 carries for 57 yards and a touchdown.
Yeah.
Braden Bennett had 29 yards on the ground, trying to get in some action. At the end of the day, it was too little, too late. Yeah. Eastern Carolina was really putting in that work, and they got it done. So shout out to them. They got the victory. And one more that we saw late last night, Wisconsin with their new coach Luke Fickell came in there and got the victory over Oklahoma State. Man, hey, Wisconsin, we know the struggles they've had this year. This is one of those things. One of the themes we had towards the middle of the year: get right. This is one of those things that can get right, help a program to get right. You know what I mean? Having this kind of bowl against a credible Oklahoma State team, man. What are your thoughts, man? Big Ten getting that dub.
Yeah, nice to start it off 1-0 for the conference. Good job, Wisconsin, on doing that. This was an interesting one because, I mean, you look at our college football group chat last night where it was like, man, why are we watching this as two backup quarterbacks?
Right.
It's like, well, these guys are both kind of fighting for the starting job because both their quarterbacks are gone. Exactly. So it's new coach, new quarterbacks, a lot of integral pieces that are kind of up in the air right now for Wisconsin. We don't know if Braylon Allen is coming back. He could still transfer. He could, there's still that question mark there. Like, it's a big deal for Wisconsin to get this win here, because that sets the tone for next year under Luke Fickell, because he came here while he didn't necessarily call plays or call most of the shots. He was still there. He's still your head guy. And to start it off 1-0 in a big-time bowl game like that, that only does wonders for that program.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, look, you talk about the backup quarterbacks, Chase Wolf having 116 yards, but I mean, 16 of 26, getting the touchdown, getting the interception, getting in there, that was good. But like you mentioned, 22 carries going to Braylon Allen. That's one of the things that I thought Luke Fickell was really going to try to focus on, letting Braylon Allen know, if you stay here, we're going to run with you. You know what I mean? So I love that he gave him that many carries in this type of game, and it opened everything else up. You got tight ends scoring touchdowns, and even who's the backup? Chez Malusi?
Yeah.
That guy's pretty sweet, man. I didn't know about him prior to watching this game, and he was getting it done. 77 yards and a touchdown, man. What do you think? Have you seen this guy before?
Yeah, well, and that's the reason why Braylon Allen didn't get as many carries this year as before, is because you had that guy in Chaz Malusi that is a very good backup. Yeah. So it was kind of interesting to see, because Braylon, like we said, had the majority of the carries this game. But Chaz Malusi still gets that touchdown, still has almost 100 yards, performs very well. And it kind of reminds me of back a few years ago when they had like Monte Ball, Melvin Gordon, like that kind of stable of running backs where it's just like NFL guy after NFL guy after NFL guy. That's kind of what it feels like with these guys right now.
And I like that. And I think you bringing Luke Fickell in here, bringing back that running mentality, that bringing in, and look, adopting something that they do in the NFL with the two-back system. Oh, that could be amazing, man. So if
I'm definitely worried as a Big Ten guy.
Right. I was about to say, if this is any indication what we're going to see in 2023, watch out, Big Ten, because Wisconsin is coming. Wisconsin is coming. I still do think, and I like what we saw at quarterback, but I still do think, let's see what happens in the offseason. Let's see what happens transfer portal and everything, because Chase Wolf was nice. This was nice for today, but we'll see what happens. But Wisconsin doesn't pass like that.
This is one where I'm sitting here and just like, please don't look this way, Grayson McCall. Like, go somewhere else. Go somewhere else.
Right. And that's crazy. Ladies and gentlemen, Saturday we will talk about all of these transfer portal guys, all these quarterbacks that are still out there. There's so many that are still on the market. There's so many that are getting offered big things. I think Drake May is playing right now. They were saying that he got offered by two different schools like $5 million. And I'm like, ooh, man. I mean, loyalty is one thing, but money, craziness.
So I got an update on that game.
Okay, what's good?
Touchdown Oregon, pretty decently sized run. 9:13 left in the second quarter. It is 13-7 pending a point after.
Come on now.
That was a 45-yard run.
Wow. Okay. You know what?
65-yard run. Sorry.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're not, without further ado, we had guests. I'm not going to hold it any longer. Let's bring him in. I know he's gloating in the background. We're going to bring in two of our guys. One guy, Alec Schomberg and Nathan Snell.
What up?
Alec.
What up?
How we doing, guys?
Oh, we're good. We're good, Nathan. If you don't know, my team just got scored on. Oh, wow.
Let's
speak on that, Alec.
go.
Wait, this is like the one time I've seen him excited for the Oregon Ducks all year.
Right.
It's because Sean wants to be on my freaking case all dang week. It's good morning, except for you Oregon fans. So,
Every day.
well, that's what I'm going to be doing. So, nope.
It is all right. It is all
bear.
right.
You poke the bear.
Yo, welcome to the show, guys. And hey, we're gonna dive into this one right now. I gotta readjust the score that I had on here with 7-7, but it is that no longer. There was a couple games earlier. Alec, you said you watched the Military Bowl, the Duke versus UCF. What were your thoughts, man? Is Duke for real, man?
I mean,
You bet on Duke?
I had substantial amount of money on Duke, substantial amount on that game. But with UCF, I mean, I didn't think it would be this far of like a lopsided win. I mean, it's not really lopsided. It's like 18 points.
Yeah.
But with the way Duke is, they looked like they was. I mean, for the first part, at first like quarter and a half, it kind of scared me. They got lucky with that step out of bounds fumble.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was definitely on UCF. That was their ball, but I enjoyed it. ACC is slowly stepping up.
I'm telling you,
Duke's been that team all year. They were 8-4 going into this. Like that's a very good football program.
Big Ten, though. Oh, sorry.
Yeah. I get it, man. Hey, shout out to Riley Leonard, and I'll never shout out another Duke player again. But Riley Leonard definitely balling out, having 173 in the air, but also 63 yards rushing and 2 rushing touchdowns.
Yeah.
Look, this guy he's a monster, man. Thank you, Johnny. I agree with you, Johnny. Screw him. All right,
I agree.
Let's go. I'm with that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, Nathan. Yo, Nate, what were your thoughts about this game? Did you get a chance to watch this one?
Yes, I did. A couple things stood out to me when I looked at both teams. I'm a fan of Riley Leonard. I mean, the throw for almost 3,000 yards, had 20 touchdowns on the season. I really love their ability to create turnovers. Even though UCF, they are explosive as an offense. I think almost put out 35 points a game.
Yeah.
And that's something a lot of guys, they picked UFC. A couple people picked Duke. But man, this is going to come down to how do you contain both offenses, in my opinion. So
I mean, look, you talk about UCF's offense. I mean, John Rice Plumlee, we've talked about him all this year. This guy is multifaceted between throwing and running. This guy gets it done. But they were really able to neutralize. Duke was able to neutralize his running game. They kept him under 200 yards in the air and got that interception off of him. Yeah. So, look, UCLA, I mean, I go back to that game they played against, I think it was Louisville. Are you UCLA? UCF.
Yeah.
I go back to the game that they played against Louisville, where I believe they were up like 14-0 at the half, and they completely gave up the lead.
Yeah,
and they lost like 20-14, and they really haven't been that not necessarily a threat, but they just haven't been what we feared
It
of
hasn't
the last
been
couple
the
years.
same. Yeah.
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 So
Yeah.
that has definitely been crazy. What's up, Alex?
I thought you said we could get a game at least with all that stuff that all that games had this year. I'm guessing most of them all. I think I'm not sure if it's true or not, but I think some of their key players opted out for the draft. I think so. I'm not sure.
Okay.
But that UCF team seemed a little bit off, in my opinion.
Yeah. It didn't seem the same. Like it didn't seem they were fully invested in it, for sure.
Yeah.
And Plumlee he's on the baseball team for this upcoming season. So.
Oh wow.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I got an update on another score.
Yes, Kyle, I have a Lightning jersey.
Kyle's talking his trash.
Yeah, always.
Let me know when Oilers win a cup. Oh, wait. I'll wait. 2040, right? 2040? Okay. I'll wait.
Yo, the AutoZone Liberty Bowl going on right now. Arkansas jumped out to an early lead, but the game is very close right now with 1:05 to go. The score is Arkansas 38, Kansas 30. Alex, man, wow.
Yeah, this was 38-13 at one point.
Right.
And like mid third quarter, it was 38-13. This is 17 straight points by Kansas here. We're gonna see if they can get the onside kick here and try and get this last score.
Oh my goodness.
But I keep picturing if they still had Jalen Daniels or whatever that quarterback's name was, man, this would be a different game.
Oh, without a doubt. Without a doubt. After the injury.
Anybody see the hit he took and still held the ball?
No.
Like Kansas's quarterback?
Yeah.
No, I didn't see it.
He had a big hit, and I guess he was trying to fight. I guess he almost fumbled it, but he held on to the ball the entire time.
I'll have to see if I can find that later.
Oh my goodness.
Onside kick recovered by Kansas.
Whoa, here we go. Here we go.
So going to win the game.
Now, all right, I was about to say, I need a guarantee, Nathan. Is it going to
Arkansas
happen?
to win on Bleachers Report.
You picked Arkansas? All right, they got the 8-point lead at the moment.
Wow, and they're down there already. They're down at like the 15, 20-yard line of Arkansas. They just took a shot to the end zone. Receiver almost had a one-handed catch.
34-yard play. Oh, my goodness. Ladies and gentlemen, with less than a minute to play, Arkansas has an 8-point lead, but Kansas, after getting the onside kick, they're driving, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, they're at the Arkansas 16.
Woo!
I have it on right now.
Oh, let's go.
Man.
Okay, get out of here. Go Blue Devils. I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear it.
This is a good chance for Kansas to end their season on a high note because they did lose
absolutely.
the last 6 of their last 7. I think
Yeah.
5 of those 6 lost by 2 points.
Yeah,
or double digits.
You talk about a team that if we go back to late October, we're seriously looking at this team like, can they run the whole thing? Can they go undefeated? Because they started off playing so well until that injury. I mean, Duke,
right before they played TCU.
Right. We talk about Duke. They went 3-0, and they had to play Kansas, and Kansas was able to get that victory, man. So this is a team that, with minus a couple injuries, they could have been in that conversation.
They were ranked as high as 17
right.
at one point. This was a very good football team.
This is craziness. Checking in on North Carolina game, incomplete pass in the end zone. Probably pass interference, Alec.
Delay game on Kansas.
Hey,
back at the 21
I admit that was pass interference. That was definitely not called.
Oh, yeah. Look at that. Look. Oh, he's hooking them. Wow. Wow, ladies and gentlemen. Wow. I see Alex donation to the refs was cash.
Oh, yeah, I'm admitting it. How much you pay them, Alex? How much you pay them?
At least I'm admitting you the pass interference. At least I'm admitting it.
Touchdown, Kansas!
Are you kidding me right now?
Wow!
Oh, my goodness gracious.
So ladies and gentlemen. 38-36.
Now we're waiting on the 2-point conversion. This game right here.
Oh, my God.
Oh, my gosh.
This is why bowl season is so great.
Thank you. This is why we get so into it. This is
never know what to expect.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. And look, we're going to talk about this one as well because I got this one also going. Alex, you keep checking on that game. We got a 1st and 10 with under 6 minutes to play. Alec, talk to me about your team. How many of your guys are playing today?
2 points, good.
Good. Tied at 38.
Tied.
Woo!
We're tied.
I will adjust that. How many of your guys are playing for Oregon today?
I'll be 100% honest with you. I really don't know. It's been so in and out. Like it's been so in and out of players saying they weren't playing, then they are playing, were playing, aren't playing. It's like the last 3 days. It's been hit or miss.
Yeah.
They showed to California, but some of them were like they've flown there just to not play, and some end up playing. So it's kind of a toss up. There's some players in here that I didn't think was actually playing because they were on the opt out list.
Yeah.
So this whole list is weird to me.
Well, see, that's the crazy part because you got these people that have even, or you said the opt-out list, but there's also people that have already committed to transfer, and like Grayson McCall, and he still got in there and he was able to play. So it's weird. It's like, when does this stuff come into effect? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Does Bo Nix get an extra year because of the pandemic?
Yes.
I think he gets that COVID year.
So everyone ends up getting it. That's why, you saw at Penn State, Sean Clifford was there for 6 years. He got that because of that COVID year. Sam Hartman getting that extra year. I know he's going as a grad transfer, but gets that extra year because of COVID. So it'll be nice once we kind of get reset to that regular. You get 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
So then you don't have to wonder, okay, are these guys that are almost 25 still coming back?
Right. He said, more importantly, what uni combo they're going to wear. I just want to take a minute and say I appreciate the fact that Oregon decided to be like a normal team and just wear 2 normal colors, somewhat normal. I don't know about that green.
Oh, don't worry, I got you. Wait a second. Just my Lightning are already winning. Might as well.
Oh, he's coming with it.
Sorry, guaranteed win in Tampa. So,
wow. Let's get it. Yes, and after he gets back, we'll also talk about a upcoming game for later on game.
I'll just give a quick update here. So Arkansas fair caught the kickoff.
Uh-huh.
They have 41 seconds and 3 timeouts from the 25-yard line.
Wow.
So we'll see what happens here.
Are we
if KJ Jefferson in that offense can get it rolling again.
Are we going to see something like the Buffalo versus Chiefs playoff game last year?
Oh, man.
Back and forth? Oh, look at here. Look at he did wear it. See? Oh, I knew it. Wow.
Anthony Brown. I'll wear disappointments.
Right. Good gracious.
Only jersey I actually bought my jersey the other day, my Justin Herbert, because I always get whatever Oregon player I like, I get their NFL team's jersey. Like back home.
Oh, okay.
Even though he didn't play for Tennessee anymore, I have Mariota's Tennessee jersey. Now I'm getting Herbert's jersey.
Nice.
Because I support my favorite Oregon players.
Yeah, I can dig it.
Nice.
I can dig it. Yeah, buddy.
I'm not a freaking Chargers fan. It's just I just support it's a Herbert.
Yeah. Yo, so Alec, you did say you were looking at this game too.
And to Johnny's comment, no, I'm not. even though we are disappointed sometimes, but
that game just kicked off. The one we're about to talk about here.
Yeah,
that's the one I'm looking forward to because I have Texas Tech in this one.
Really
interesting.
I mean, I have Texas. I mean, anytime I can side away from Ole Miss, I take advantage of it. Especially it's.
I think with Jackson Dart and them coming back, I got Ole Miss. Oh, that's gotta be PI. That's gotta be PI.
Yeah, I got it. Jackson Dart, if he's healthy, as he's running it, man. Him and Heath at receiver, I think he's gonna be able to too much.
Oh, hey Alex, you got a comment from Ben with khakis.
Woo! Oh, wait a minute. Touchdown
Tar Heels.
Let's get it.
Drake
Let's get it.
May is a redshirted freshman.
Redshirt freshman,
yeah.
Okay.
So he came and he sat Sam Howell's senior year. So he came and he was in all those meetings. He was watching film, just essentially a mini me of Sam Howell. So that's one of the reasons why he, has been able to have so much success, because he's like been in it. He's understood what was going on. Him and Sam Howell have such a great relationship, So, I'd love seeing this. Let's go.
I did have a question about Ole Miss.
Yeah.
So if Ole Miss wins, does Lane Kiffin stay or does he still leave?
I think he's staying regardless. I do. I think that was all talk. I think he's staying.
I'm kind of leaning that he stays. I mean, I thought they turned out an offer to be at Auburn.
Yeah.
Maybe that's. I guess Ole Miss will find a way to pay him.
Well, and most of the big-time coaching jobs that were out there are already filled, so he's not going to get a better job than he has at Ole Miss right now, so he should stay.
Yeah.
He said, Johnny Dean said, that touchdown pass by May was better than any I've seen from Sam Howell. Look, May's got talent, man. May's got talent. His size helps him. Sam Howell's a little smaller. May's, he's a nice size. Look, I love what May is doing right now. We'll see what happens going forward. But Sam Howell, you saw the jersey I got, ladies and gentlemen. So Sam Howell is in the heart. We'll see what's going on with May. But let's go into our guy, Nathan. We got you on here, man. Let's preview your game. We got Duke Mayo Bowl, Maryland playing NC State. What are your thoughts, man? I know you've talked about Maryland all year long. You've watched them. What are your thoughts, man?
I'm excited. I mean, we're going against the number 25th ranked school, NC State. I mean, a former ACC rival.
Yeah.
So that brings back memories.
Former.
I don't miss ACC.
They can't do a better conference. They can't do a better conference.
Wow. Are you kidding me right now? Wow.
Thank you.
Hey, we have like 4 teams that could have went and won your conference this year. Just saying.
Yes. I mean, Maryland finished off the season that last month, which was always really eyesore. We beat a Rutgers team that's still to me still building. I don't want to talk about the Penn State or Ohio State embarrassments. So I mean,
I disagree with you on Ohio State being an embarrassment.
Well, not Ohio State, the Penn State
building block game for you guys. Oh, Penn State, yeah.
I mean, the only thing is, I think what stands out for me. I'm sorry, Alex. Rakeem Jarrett.
I'm saying that we're in overtime here.
Yeah.
Overtime.
Going to OT.
Nice. We won't have Rakeem Jarrett, Jacob Copeland, Dante Demas Jr. Because they're all, I believe, declaring for the draft. I know Jarrett is. And CJ Dupree, he's transferring to Alabama. So,
I heard is Himby transferring?
I don't know about Himby. I think Himby's staying. But I know Jarrett is declared for the draft. I think Jacob Copeland was also declared. I believe I remember seeing it correctly. He's declaring for the draft, and Demas Jr. So,
well, that's your 2 best receivers.
Yeah.
Painfully.
What about Talia?
I mean, Talia's playing, so he won't have his playmakers. I mean, the only what we'll have out there is Hemby and Littleton.
Yeah.
Him being out there still gives you guys a chance, though, especially with Devin Leary not being on that other side. That gives you guys a chance.
Definitely. So, I think his backup, I forgot who they played. I think it was Boston College. I think his backup got hurt.
Yeah.
For NC State.
They were on to the 3rd string.
Yeah.
Craziness, man.
These targets against tight ends, man. Jesus.
Going tight ends. Yeah, first downs each. Oh, Yeah, big serious. Yo, Nathan, what other games have you been looking at or looking forward to?
I'm looking forward to the TCU. I'm not sorry. That was Kansas. That was supposed to be the Texas Bowl. The hold on, I have my notes here.
Hey, by the way, Strong, that was that player that played like 11 freaking seasons.
Was that the guy that had like forever eligibility?
Boy, that will never leave. I've seen that before. There's like too many freaking players that are playing. Like I think it was like week 4 in college. They showed 2 players that are like 28 years old. I'm like, Jesus, just give me a break.
North Texas has a quarterback that's 30.
Austin on or what?
On here, yeah.
At that point, you might as well just skip the NFL.
Right.
Because you can't really go far in the NFL at that age.
Probably like institutionalized.
Just imagine being a rookie quarterback in the NFL, being 30. You're like,
right?
Push you around.
Behind me.
Oh my gosh.
What you saying, Nate?
But to answer your question, the Orange Bowl, Tennessee versus Clemson.
Yeah.
That should be a good game. Washington versus
Clemson
Texas.
runs away with that one.
Oh.
I think it's
Klubnik. I think Clemson runs away with it.
I think so too. I think Clemson by 2 touchdowns.
Who's the bowl game tomorrow?
I'm saying 3.
This is tomorrow's game, right?
Yes.
No, that's on. Wait, they play tomorrow? I thought they were Saturday.
No, I'm sorry. They're Friday.
No. Yeah,
Friday.
Friday. Yeah, they play the 8:00 game. Them in Tennessee.
Dang.
Yeah.
We're not taking the Miltons of the Tennessee.
No, that offense with Jake Klubnik running it now.
Yeah, well, that's the difference.
Oh, I forgot
they got dude.
Yeah. Because
They got
DJ's
rid of
already
Literally going to
transferred.
Oregon State.
Yeah. Your buddies.
Yeah.
Where his
was
brother,
crazy.
a 5-star edge rusher, just committed to those Oregon Ducks right there.
Oh my
Yeah, I know, I
goodness
saw that.
gracious.
The Pac-12
I wish
is
Maryland got a
definitely
5-star
weird.
recruit.
No, my goodness. What is Raheem Jarrett? He's not
He's
5-star.
declared for the draft.
Oh yeah, he is leaving.
See, but here's the thing, Nathan, is we hardly have any 5 stars on our team, and look where we're at.
Coaching.
And I think that's where you guys are building, though, is you guys have a lot of those 3- and 4-star recruits, and you guys are building them up to be extremely talented players.
Definitely.
Like you guys that are talking about going, there's conversations to go
might-
first round. Some of these guys, like I think what you guys are building there, and that coach has done a phenomenal job.
Do you know
Shout out to Coach Loxley.
bowl game is?
He's even flipped some guys to come play for him next year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
He's definitely building up that defense, especially linebackers and interior line, because that's a weakness. But really,
I just wish Maryland would we could bring back that rivalry between Maryland and North Carolina so we can show y'all what's really going on.
there's not really much happening in the ACC. I mean, the only thing that makes the ACC relevant is basketball.
Hey, our football is coming up in a couple years. No, Clemson had us up there.
Yeah, Clemson had you guys up there, but I think Clemson will rebuild here quickly. I think you guys are going to be right in that top 15 picture for the next couple of years, as long as May's there. In my opinion, you guys are going to be up there.
Bowl game is?
I definitely agree.
What's that?
North Carolina's definitely got him.
There's this bowl game that Alex is talking about. I think it was either him or Johnny, but that Tulane and USC game. That's the game I'm really looking forward to.
Yes,
Monday at 1 p.m. Eastern.
That's the game I'm really looking forward to watching.
That's gonna be a good
Me
one.
too. I'm also going to Utah Penn State that day.
I like Ben says, like I feel like Tulane can win that. Like Tulane's been like that team all year in their conference that everybody thought like was a pushover, and then they show up every game.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And I say they make their resume against USC.
Yeah.
Sorry, we were talking the
USC
ACC there.
USC pick six.
Johnny brings up a good argument. FSU is going to be very competitive right away too.
Go!
And you didn't go nowhere.
Let's go, baby! Let's go!
This is what Sean wanted on his
Interception by the
Wednesday.
Tar Heels. Let's go.
If I get a phone call at 10
So,
o'clock at night, I'll decline that.
quick update.
I'll
Quick
decline
update
that.
on this game. Kansas has the ball first to start overtime. It is 4th and goal at the 2-yard line. So it'll be interesting to see what Kansas does here, if they kick the field goal or they go for it.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for being here with us. We are sitting out here trying to talk these games. Ben Cordes says, I got Tulane over USC. Look, we talked about that before. I don't think the lights are too bright. Caleb Williams, the first action he got was against in that Tulane game. You know what I mean? Yeah. Where Tulane almost won. It was 40-35 in that ball game. Good. Oh,
touchdown, Kansas.
Woo.
By the way, I should have been paying closer attention to this game. Jalen Daniels is playing. He's playing.
Yeah, he's coming in with an injury.
Yeah,
he
got hurt. Yeah, he's separated his shoulder, strained it or something right before the TCU game.
That's that day.
And then he hasn't played since. But he's 34-52 tonight, 512 yards, 4 touchdowns, 2 picks before that touchdown.
Buddy.
Oh, no,
so, Jason.
No.
Hello, Jason.
No.
What the hell?
Oh, don't worry, Nathan. This is normal. We get these comments
good old Jason. This is good old.
These comments happen a lot.
Oh man.
No.
So I have a question. So is TCU the team to beat? Because they're the number 3 ranked school going against Michigan. Mm-hmm. Then you've got obviously Georgia. So
I mean, Georgia
is that the team?
Let's be real.
There it is. Yep. It's got to be Georgia.
I think in terms of like odds to win the whole thing, it goes Georgia, Michigan, Ohio State, then TCU. Honestly, it's just to me. I don't trust that TCU defense.
Well, the thing is with Cincinnati from a year ago. It was almost like they had 3 years to build up to what the Rams did in 1 year last year. They built up all their guys. You have Sauce Gardner, Kobe Bryant. You have your quarterback, Desmond Ridder, Alec Pierce, wide receiver. I mean, all these guys were guys that got drafted and are making serious contributions in the NFL. You know, all those guys stayed for 2-3 years and then played together. And to get that far was such an accomplishment, but you knew there was going to be a drop-off. And now that Luke Fickell left, I fear they're going to go back to what they used to be.
Touchdown, UNC.
Let's get it. Night-night. Night-night. Night-night, baby. Is that Josh Downs? That's Josh. Where is it? Where is it? Let me see, ladies and gentlemen.
Arkansas is on the 2-yard line, I think. 5-yard line?
They're on the 6.
Wait, is the score 45-38?
38.
45-38, yeah. 1st and goal, Arkansas.
Oh, baby. No, I cannot find it.
Yeah, Arkansas had a nice one of those little tunnel screens to gain like 15 yards.
Let's go. Shout out to Tar Heels right now. Looking like
touchdown, Arkansas.
The lead. Wow. So we're
Damn,
going double overtime?
Well, we gotta see if they might go for 2 here. They might just kick the point after. We'll see what happens here.
For the game, ladies and gentlemen, definitely tune in.
LSU did it against Bama.
Very true. Very true. Touchdown piggies. Definitely stay tuned.
It's also 6-0 Texas Tech right now over Mississippi State.
Alec, what's that North Carolina score, baby? Tar Heels.
Hey, what was that ACC championship scoreboard?
What was that Oregon Conference championship?
Night, Alec. Night, Alec. All right.
What's for that? I'm taking Michigan to lose for that. Bad.
You can lose your money then. Lose your money then.
No, I'm gonna put money on it. I'm just
gonna because you know it ain't happening. 45-45 going into second overtime.
Wow.
I wish.
So just remember this one, they have to go for 2 if they score a touchdown.
I'm talking ish on the Wolverines on Saturday.
Get kicked out of your mom's place and then
right. You'll be on the cold, brother. You can be on the cold. But look, so let's talk. We talked about Alabama. We talked about a lot of these guys, Clemson, a lot of these teams that have these star players that we know are going to go into the draft, but you see some of these guys that are still playing. Talk to me about, like, you think about Alabama and you think about Bryce Young and Will Anderson Jr. Is that smart? You know, it's kind of become the move to leave, like Christian McCaffrey done, like a lot of these guys done. Is it smart to continue to actually play this game, seeing what happened to Grayson McCall today?
For Will Anderson, no. For Bryce Young, it absolutely is. Because there is still debate on which guy's this top quarterback. Is it Bryce Young? Is it CJ Stroud? Will Levis is still getting conversation at number 1.
Yeah.
So for Bryce Young, you have to leave, no doubt. You have to go beat up on this Kansas State team, show your dominance, and solidify that you're the top quarterback in this draft. But for Will Anderson, he's the number 1 edge rusher. It's not even close. The only competition for best defensive player and probably best player in the draft is Jalen Carter, who's also playing. So, yeah. So, Will Anderson, I don't think he really has anything left to prove. But Bryce Young, he's got to leave it all on the table.
Is that now? Are you saying that because of the season Alabama had, or you're just because he's undersized at the quarterback position?
Because, well, here's my thing. I think if Ohio State didn't make the playoff and CJ Stroud wasn't playing, Bryce Young doesn't have to play. But you're going to see CJ Stroud play again. So I think if you're Bryce Young, you have to have another performance.
So it's more like that draft stock situation.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean,
like Colin said. Oh, go ahead.
Like, in my opinion, I feel like it's more so like he should play like probably the first half. Hopefully they're up at a point where it won't be a problem him sitting out.
Yeah, exactly.
Because any kind of injury affects that draft stock. Even with Ojabo last year, he was supposed to be a first round pick. He played good in the championship, like the playoffs, and then
touchdown Arkansas.
When it came to the pro day, anything can happen.
And it was stupid dropping him back in coverage.
Yeah.
He's an edge rusher. Why the hell are you dropping him back in coverage?
Right.
It's just like you can't. I wouldn't say it's one of those things where you got to be very careful with everything you do from now until draft day.
Well, right.
Any small thing can affect your draft stock.
Then let me ask you this, and I'll come to you, Nathan. Are these guys right that say, "Hey, I'm missing the bowl game"? I get it. You want to be with your team and everything, but you got an opportunity to have generational wealth created and brought to your family. Are these guys right for saying, "Hey, I'm gonna skip the bowl"?
I think it goes. I think I'm gonna look at it from both sides. From the player's perspective, yes, because you're getting ready for the draft. Most guys already have a feeling where they're going to be at. And also, too, some of these guys could be fundamental pieces to a franchise. Like, for example, I think, in my personal opinion, like my mock draft, Will Anderson is number 1 overall pick. I don't see a quarterback in the top 5. That's just me. But
what
happened?
Look at Arkansas game. Look at it.
2-point conversion, good for Arkansas.
Are you serious?
Oh my God.
53-45 currently. So they went to go do one of those little like KJ Jefferson run towards the line of scrimmage and kind of dump pass.
Hot pass,
and it didn't work, so we had to run outside and dump it off to the receiver coming back across.
Oh
wow.
It was
a
little backyard football.
Let's go. Look, he said Sean Spencer with the new look on podcasting. Let's go. Yeah, hey, put this in one of their polls, Andrew. The best look on screen. Let's go. I can dig it. So this is the point, and shout out to Colin Pashew and this week in Georgia football, who's saying anything can happen. You're absolutely right. I mean, you could slip and break your leg going out your house. Like anything can happen, but if you can help it, and just like Nathan said, that your stock is right here. Like you're about to be a top 10 or a top 15 pick which is that kind of money, you're going to sit here and be like, hey, I'm going to go ahead and just take a break. I'm just going to do it. Because the thing is, the guys on the other team are giving it at all. If you have any kind of hesitation in your mind, I do think you need to stop, because that could cause you to get hurt. And that's what, I mean, you got a chance, man.
I think they should do it like with the Pro Bowl. I think if you just play one half, you're done. That's it.
Right.
Because I think you could still. I feel like you could use the bowl games to elevate your draft stock. I think. Well, the regular season's over, so like my regular season performance, I'm okay. I think this is an opportunity for, like, example, Jacob Copeland or Raheem Jarrett. I think they could use the bowl games to elevate their draft stock more. But just because, like, we played just the regular season, I think that cements my draft stock. And no. And then also, too, like, a lot of guys are taking advantage of the NL money. So I would try to make as much money with the NL deals before going pro.
Yeah.
I mean, and to your point, you got to go back to some of these guys that it's been proven, where, like Hakeem Nicks, who played for West Virginia, they played in North Carolina in a bowl. He had like a 4-touchdown game in senior year and ended up getting picked early, by the Giants. He definitely moved up, ended up becoming a Super Bowl winner with the Giants. You know what I mean? Like, these games definitely have an impact on draft stock and on, things going forward. Now, some of these guys, not so much. Like we said, Will Anderson, some of these guys that we've already seen what they can do, it's not going to change it any which way. The number one team is going to pick whoever they're going to pick already. And speaking of this, Nick says, I don't know, he thinks that number one team's got to take a quarterback.
Now, I got a new idea on this.
They should have did it last year. Why take Derrick Henry at number 3 when you had an opportunity to get a quarterback last year? Why not build on the defense? The
reason you do that last year is because you want the full year to see if Davis Mills is your guy. You've seen this full year. He's clearly not your guy. Now you go with another high pick and go get your quarterback. But here's the new idea that it's mostly just shits and giggles that I'm throwing it out there. Do you guys remember who the first ever pick by Houston was?
David Carr.
David Carr.
Right.
Go throw those Browns picks, go get Derek Carr, and then build your defense, go get Will Anderson with the first pick.
Wow. I could see that.
I don't think they'll do it. I think they'll draft a rookie.
Hold on. You mean trade? So trade your first overall. So trade for Derek Carr.
No. Trade for Derek Carr, but use the Browns picks that you got for Deshaun Watson. Use their first round pick, which is going to be like 10 to 15 somewhere in there. Use it this year, and then use like the second and third round picks from that Browns trade as well.
So I have a question. So who does Derek Carr have? Who is he throwing the ball to?
Devontae Adams, Derek Walker,
Brandon Cooks. Brandon Cooks, Nico Collins,
and then you Pierce.
And there's a lot of receivers that are gonna move around this offseason. Look forward to it. T. Higgins being one of them, because they got to pay Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase right away. T. Higgins ain't gonna get that money in Cincinnati. Look for him to be moved.
Wait a minute, hold on. Let me make sure this right. Brandon Cooks, who wanted to be traded, wasn't happy. Nico
but
Collins,
if they get him a solid quarterback, then he might be happy again.
That's the thing. That's the thing. He wanted to be traded.
Oh, no way. So we had the
51.
touchdown on Kansas. They went for the 2-point attempt. And,
they missed it?
Well, they didn't get it, but targeting was called.
They're going to get another shot.
Me personally, I think that if I'm Houston, I would really like to know how they're going to go forward. You drafted Derek Stingley. You have to have some type of identity. I just hate to see a quarterback drafted and you're still getting the same results. And then 2-3 years later, we're like, oh, that didn't pan out. I think just build on their defense and take it from there. Me personally.
Yeah. You got it. I mean, but you also have to have the same coach for multiple years, and you also have to have the same. Like
Yes.
we've seen teams do this. Like San Francisco's done it. Like where you build and you constantly are getting the top 5 picks, and you're building up. I mean, we'll see. This second half of the season, Houston has not been out of any game. Like they've been losing, yes, but think about that Dallas game where they should have won
overtime with
Kansas City too.
Kansas City, absolutely. So Houston, I think, is right around the corner, and Lovey's the guy to do it. We know what he can do, but it's going to be interesting to see if you want to make that move and go quarterback. Because then the question is Bryce Young a franchise changer? Is he somebody, if you get a quarterback, or if you don't, then you go defense, and it's like, is Will Anderson that type of guy?
Yeah.
Okay, but what defines a what defines a franchise changer? Because when I look at Carolina, they made a trade for Sam Darnold. That didn't pan out.
Sam Darnold's not that good.
I mean, Kenny Pickett.
I think somebody like a Trevor Lawrence, who even last year when they were really bad with everything going on, he still threw for over 3,000 yards.
But I'm thinking, if you draft Bryce Young, is he getting the Tim Couch treatment? Like, you're not putting anything around him. I just hate for quarterbacks to be drafted to crappy teams and you put nothing around them.
Now, see, I can't say there's nothing around him right now because you have an above-average offensive line. You have Dameon Pierce. Currently, as constructed, you have Cooks and Collins. You might get John Mechie back. We'll see what happens with him.
Right.
John Mechie.
So if you can convince Cooks to stay, that's a good offense if you get the right quarterback in there.
Mm-hmm.
Now, there's also the thought process, just throwing things out Houston could do. You continue to build that defense this year, and then run it back with Davis Mills and Driscoll and whoever else you want to throw in there. And then who's sitting at the top of the 2024 draft? Mr. Caleb Williams.
Mm-hmm.
That guy is a franchise changer. That is an absolute franchise changer. So I think that's a real possibility that I think Houston could be considering.
Can you put that
Johnny,
one coming
he
back
hasn't
up
messed with that
what
O-line
Nick
there.
said about the Bears? Actually, Dick Duran was actually your best coach.
Dick Duran? Was that a joke?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was going
to say it's definitely a joke because Lovey got them to a Super Bowl. So
he said no, he wasn't. Alex, that's why I see Cooks out of Houston, especially with Mechie coming back.
Well, Mechie might not ever play it down in the NFL. We don't know what's going to happen with that.
We don't know, yeah.
It's also looking at.
But again, like I get what you're saying. I just hate to see good talent on bad teams, and you're not putting anything around it because history has shown.
They get drafted first overall for a reason. It's going to the worst team in the football.
Right. But I'm saying, like, realistically, can you see, like, let's be honest, can you see a T. Higgins going to play for Houston Texans, especially with the history that they have and all the stuff that they're still dealing with in the midst of the Deshaun Watson thing?
As a wide receiver, I think you absolutely could go there because look at the receivers they've had recently. You've had a DeAndre Hopkins. You've had an Andre Johnson. They've had a history of building these elite number one receivers. So I think if you're a guy like T. Higgins who has the potential to be a number one receiver, I think you absolutely consider going there. And at the same time, it's a trade, so you don't necessarily have a say. If the team wants to do right by you, they'll get your opinion. But the team doesn't have to ask you where you want to go. They can just trade you.
I'm sorry, there was a connection. There was a lag. I couldn't understand.
Okay.
The last part. I'm sorry.
I'm just watching because Kansas is now finally going for 2 again. They had all that review for the targeting. They got set up, called a timeout. Oh, and now Arkansas calls a timeout.
Of course, to double ice it. To fill in the late game, the Texas Tech Raiders are tied 7-7 with Ole Miss. Take a look there.
The bad team get the first picks.
Nick talking about Higgins in a Bears jersey. That's actually where I think he goes to.
He wants to go play for that team? Interesting.
Well, you got your quarterback.
Mooney, Fields.
If you go like Higgins is a number one receiver. He's got that build. He's got that talent. You go get Fields a true number one receiver where Mooney can go back to being your number two and Claypool can be a big body number three on the outside. You finish off that offensive line. You've got the running backs there. That's a scary offense.
Yeah, Cole Kmet at tight end. He can definitely help out.
Yep.
We'll see. But again, they also need defense, which is why I was leaning on Will Anderson going over to Chicago.
Yeah.
I have them taking Jalen Carter.
I actually agree. I think Jalen Carter's the guy.
Yeah.
Because you look at Eberflus's defense. By the way, 2-point convert, good. We're going to triple overtime.
Wow. Classic.
That's a classic.
Eberflus's defense in Indianapolis was predicated on DeForest Buckner, Grover Stewart, those interior defensive linemen. Yep. You go get Jalen Carter. We're talking about franchise changers. Jalen Carter at the defensive tackle position is
especially
a franchise changer.
Roquan Smith's going too. So
right.
Yeah.
Right. What do you guys think about this? Hendon Hooker. Where do you think, especially after an injury?
Second round, early third round tops.
That's kind of where I'm thinking too. And
yeah,
I'm thinking it's a team that has one of these older quarterbacks that can give Hendon Hooker that year to get fully healthy and then still get acclimated. Yeah. There's a few of those teams out there that definitely could. I wish he wouldn't have got hurt.
That messes with me. But also, real quick, Nate, before also, I wonder how much his days at Virginia Tech played into how we evaluate him. Because shout out to him. Once he got to Josh Heupel in Tennessee, yes, he was lights out. He was amazing. But before, he wasn't great at Virginia Tech at all. So does he? I fear he has to get into a certain scheme, or his talents might, not get used correctly.
I think some of that goes into coaching.
Right. Absolutely.
Because there's coaches that help you with mature and growth. I mean, no disrespect to Virginia Tech, but they were an up-and-coming young football program.
As a Tar Heel, all disrespect to you in Virginia Tech.
Well, I mean, like, when you're trying to build a football program like that and you're putting all that pressure on his shoulders, like, they're not – and also to the competition. Like, there's really nobody that stood out to me to go, okay. I mean, he did all right. But I think when you have, like, he goes into Josh's system, you see the talent. Like, it's just more magnified than before. Man. So, I mean, I think transfer to Tennessee was a good thing for him. I might take some flack for this. I think he should consider staying. Get healthy. And try. And I think if he considers staying, because
that's not a bad idea.
Because the late rounds, you're not getting the kind of money like top 15. Right. So if you get healthy, stay, you have a chance to not only potentially win a Heisman, but you could say, no, I could be a top 3 quarterback in next year's draft.
Right. It could only get better. And then that begs the question, if he does stay, does he become a franchise quarterback?
He's almost there now. That's the thing. Right. He's like right on the borderline of being that. So
you give him that extra year of experience in the system, polish it off. I mean, it can only be good for him. I mean, the only other downfall is you don't want something where you get hurt, again.
So. Well, and here's the big test as well, is your top 2 receivers went to the draft. They're already committed going to the NFL. Your third receiver there just decided to transfer.
Yeah.
So it would be a whole new set of weapons. So it would be another test.
Yeah. And we'll see really how good he is. Johnny says Hooker to the Jags.
Wow. So we're throwing the white flag on Trevor Lawrence. Interesting.
Well, no, just as a backup.
As a backup. Okay.
Yeah. Now, see, I think he'd be a good backup.
Ben's next comment, I really like that idea.
Let me see.
Hooker to Vegas.
I could
just
see
because
that.
I think
What?
they're getting a certain Tom Brady for a year or two.
Yeah,
You let
not
Hooker
as the
get
starter.
ready to go.
Yeah,
Can you
not
play
as
the really clip for me?
Yeah, not as a starter. I think you think we mean as a starter.
No. Not for like 2-3.
Really?
Yeah.
What's so bad about that, Nate?
No, I have Vegas taking. They need some miracles on defense. They are
Well, this is-
horrendously bad on defense.
Oh,
This is like a second or third round pick.
Second, no, I said the first 3 rounds they need to focus on defense.
Well,
Yeah,
if he goes out now, he might be around later in the draft. I mean,
You
with
gotta
that
save it quick.
injury with that injury and how he played, he might not be that high in the draft. So you might be able to get him at a late 3rd or early 4th round.
Ben, I understood what you meant there. I just took it a little more seriously.
Okay,
The Hooker to Vegas one. There's an
Oh,
underlying joke in there.
Yeah.
Oh,
What about
Sin City. Okay.
There you go. There you go, Jason Swade. I mean, Ben.
So the game is now over.
What happened?
55-53 Arkansas.
A safety?
Safety?
No, so once you get to the 3rd overtime, it's only the 2-point conversions back and
Oh, the
forth.
2 points back and forth. That's right.
So Arkansas got theirs. Kansas, because of the targeting, Jalen Daniels was hurt because the targeting was on. Daniels got hit in the head.
Oh.
So they had to
it's
back
like
the quarterback
like
in,
that.
tried that same little rollout and dump pass, and sailed it over the head.
Oh man! So it ends like that. Damn.
Yeah.
What a classic. What a classic.
I agree, though. The quarterback should have just taken off and dove for the end zone.
Yeah.
You're at the 2-yard line. You're not that far.
Right.
That sucks.
That is
Yeah, that blows.
absolutely crazy. So shout out to them. Yo, real quick, while we have you, man, look, you talked about the TCU Michigan game, Nathan. I mean, we got Alex here. What are your thoughts on that game? And then also the Georgia and Ohio State game.
I don't really know what everyone's panicking about the TCU. Like everyone's acting like Michigan's like this underdog. Like I was watching the first take and they're all like TCU, and I'm like, did I miss something? Like, yeah, TCU's having a great year, but it's Michigan.
Mm-hmm.
This is where Jim Harbaugh's his Wolverines, they always shine in these bowl games, these come playoffs. So I think it's going to be Michigan 35-24.
See, I'm kind of in the same boat. I got 35-17, and I got TCU getting 2 touchdowns quick, and then not getting much the rest of the way. Duggan and Quentin Johnston scare the hell out of me, but there's not another player on that team I'm worried about with Michigan. I think they're kind of where we were last year.
Yeah.
And yeah, we're much different than we were last year. Everyone coming into this season on that roster was, we want to beat Ohio State and we want to be playing for that national title.
But we almost
last
beat you
year
guys,
it was,
so.
Yeah, you guys gave us a hell of a game.
Mm-hmm.
Should have won that game.
Yeah, you guys should have won that game. Absolutely. But last year it was compete with Ohio State and maybe make the playoffs. Now it's that bar's been raised. Now we want to compete for national titles. I'm still in the boat. I don't think we beat Georgia. I just want us to be competitive against Georgia if we get there. So I just think Georgia's still head and shoulders above everyone else. But yeah, I think we roll on TCU.
I can see it.
I agree. I mean, that 3-3-5 defense, I know Ohio State's used it. So
yeah, Colin, me too, man. Me too. I'm hoping for it.
It's coming. It's coming.
I hope you guys whoop on that team down south, and we can see you guys again.
What are you guys thinking about Georgia and Ohio State? Is it a foregone conclusion that Georgia's got it? Like, Alec, what do you think, man? Are you betting on it?
I'm not even touching that with a 10-inch pole. Not even. No, you couldn't convince me otherwise. not touching a single. I'll watch the game, but I'm not putting money on that at all.
Yeah.
Oh, I will be watching that game very closely.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, I'll be watching it, but I'm not putting no hard-earned money on that.
To me, I see two scenarios. I see Georgia either rolls on Ohio State or Ohio State steals a close one. To me, what would worry me about Ohio State is Georgia's one weakness the last few games of the season had been that secondary. Keely Ringo and them, you kind of got taken advantage of a little bit. I know most of it was in garbage time against LSU, but they were able to move the ball on you for like 500 yards.
Very true.
Well, CJ Stroud and Marvin Harrison Jr. are much better than what you were going against in LSU. So if that offensive line, which is a good offensive line for Ohio State, can give Stroud that time, look out. But I think Georgia can do everything we did to them. You can manhandle them. You can beat them with that ground game. You've got Bowers and McConkey and all those weapons on the outside that you can use in jet sweeps and short passes and long passes. I think Georgia's the better team, but I think Ohio State can expose that one tiny little weakness that Georgia's had this year.
Yeah, absolutely. And look, there's a couple areas that I'm really trying to zoom in on. One is that interior line of Georgia with Jalen Carter and them guys going up against the middle of that Ohio State line. You talked about their center. You talked about some of those guys, and that is definitely Georgia's strong suit. Another part is the secondary of Georgia. I mean, Keely Ringo, we know how the plays that he's made, especially last year. But hey, Colin was saying that's definitely been a struggle. And we're going up against, probably the best wide receiver in the country, and Marvin Harrison
think there's any
Jr.
probably about that, I think.
Right. I mean, you've seen how he plays. Then you got Emeka Amuka, the other wide receiver, and you might not have Travion Henderson, but you've got some running backs. So I definitely think one of the things that's going to be interesting is what the offense and the firepower in the passing game are able to do, but also in the running game. You know what I mean? We know about that stout Georgia defense. Can Ohio State run the ball and really kind of control the trenches with Georgia? I think that's going to be a huge, huge question.
If I had to pick one key matchup in this game, I mean, obviously Harrison Jr. versus Ringo, but I'm going JT Tuimoloau against Broderick Jones on that left tackle edge rusher matchup there, because that's two of the best of their positions, and it's going to be a lot of fun to watch those two go at it. It'll be nice to see who wins, because my one issue with Jones is in his pass pro, he does tend to lunge a little bit. So he tries to throw that punch too early, and then he kind of leans and it sets up for that swim move, and it makes it a lot easier for the edge rusher to get by. Tuimoloau's good enough where if you give him anything, he's going to kill you for it. So it's going to be a lot of fun to watch that matchup, especially as a lineman, where I do sit there and watch those matchups a lot while the play's going on. So,
oh yeah, absolutely. Nathan, what are your thoughts about this one, man?
I think for me, the keys for this game is Georgia has to get the run game going early. It's going to be interesting to see how CJ Stroud versus quote unquote the mailman, Mr. Ben Stinson, how they play. Because Carl Malone is the true mailman. Thank you. No, but seriously, like, I believe Georgia's ranked 41st in terms of getting to the quarterback, except because who they played doesn't really sweep you off your feet, and they really do a good job of keeping their opponent's scores down. I mean, the only one that stood out the most was the Missouri game. So, I mean, watching Ohio State whoop Maryland. I mean, us playing Maryland playing Ohio State. I mean, you're going to get a well-balanced offensive attack and defensive attack. So you really don't know how. You just got to really just be prepared overall. So, I mean, Ohio State, they take away the run game early. I don't think Georgia. I don't think you can beat Ohio State in the air. I think it's more through the ground.
No.
So, if Georgia does those things, I think Georgia can win the game. I say those Bulldogs win 40-37.
Oh, okay. I agree with Colin where he said that first play. The first play Ohio State touches the ball, they're going deep. They're testing that secondary early, see if they're sleeping or not. Score-wise, I'm going to say Georgia 42, Ohio State 24.
I can dig it. Alec, what are you thinking?
I'm looking at us not converting a first down right now. That's so terrible.
It's beautiful. I just saw that. I didn't want to say anything, but thank you. That was beautiful.
Jesus. This is why we should have went with Dante Moore. Just had to come back. Just had to come back.
I mean, he's 10 of 12 for 88 yards.
Yeah. It's just I wish we had Dante Moore for next season.
Your defense is giving up 3 touchdowns. I think that's kind of the problem there.
Beautiful.
Yeah, that's typical Oregon, though. It's Pac-12 offense. There's no defense in the Pac-12.
I feel like Bo Nix is the epitome of typical Oregon.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
I didn't mean you disrespect by that, man.
Do you know what else is epitome? Tar Heels basketball.
Oh.
How about the
hey, we got back into the top 25, all right? We just
y'all actually came back. How long was that
what
year?
a collapse.
Yeah, we don't have to talk about who they beat recently. We can just move on from that.
Right.
Oh.
Yeah, can we talk about Juwan Howard's team?
Hey, it was a good competitive game. That's all that needs to be said.
All I gotta say is you don't want to see the Wolverines in March. Just
damn right.
We got to make it
one thing I know about
the way we're playing.
If it's one thing I know about Michigan basketball, you don't want to see them in March. You can get that win on them during the season, but I don't know. The Big Ten teams and the March Madness is just a different.
Trust me, I live with a Michigan State fan, and all she keeps telling me is March. Izzo's coming in March. I'm like, get out of here.
It takes us a while to warm up. We're frozen by the time basketball starts. It takes us a while to warm up.
But look, I gotta shout out my guy because I saw this and it's from one of the earlier games. And as this is a Christmas gift to my guy Alex, a lineman. I saw this and I know you'll appreciate this.
Yeah.
I want to share it. He throws. Let me see. I just want you to take a look. You get this Oklahoma State just dominating, balling out, and I mean he's doing his thing. But then you got number 61. Look at this guy. I mean, given everything he's got. Oh my goodness. The fact that he's running down there with him. And I was so mad at number 6. I was like, man, you need to give your guy some love. Alex, would that have been you rumbling down the field with your receiver?
Oh, absolutely. I was just gonna say this is one where as a lineman, you're just like, okay, how close can I get to him before he gets the end zone? Like, so you can watch the tape and be like, see, I was like 5 yards behind you. Like, yeah, this is one where you just haul and give everything you got to try and get there as close as you can to him. Like, I used to do that all the time.
Shout out to Oklahoma State. I saw that today and I was like, oh, I have to show this. I have to show this. I know that would be you. And I'd be like, Alex, come on, let's go.
That was good. That was really good.
I love those.
So right now it's 21-14. North Carolina. Look, I said Washington. North Carolina is up on Oregon. That offense is on the field.
That offense is off the field.
Wait, it's 39.
That offense is off the field.
Oh, come on, guys.
I just love how Sean said Washington and started going through other teams that Oregon lost to.
Right.
It's not Sunday, Sean.
Right. Got to take the hat off. It's the hat, man. It's the hat. Shoot, and the shirt. I would like to thank my non-North Carolina attire to my fiance. Got into a little tiff before I left, and I said, you know what, I'm leaving. And I walked out, and I was like, dang, I could tuck my tail between my legs and go back and get this North Carolina stuff where I could just leave and be like, yeah, I left. That's right. I still got to walk back into that house. Here we go.
Do you need to
Wait a
get
minute.
the vest?
Say again, Nate. Oh,
Wait,
did he
muted
just
Oh, he muted himself again. Yeah.
I'll say you're come back to seeing the stuff missing.
right?
The whole
everything
place
we
is
did
just
online.
going to be green and white. Just
Right,
green
yeah.
and white everything.
She
I
already
was-
said, man.
I was
we
The crazy part is I was debating on Saturday just to go to like a little Michigan bar
yeah.
and try to troll Michigan fans. But I was like, you know what? I've seen people do it before, and it never ends well for them. So I'm gonna
nope.
just blend in with the crowd and just be
There
like,
you go.
go
Right, exactly. Right. Go team. Go team. Yo,
Yeah.
I see
Who's
you
your
sent
team?
him the link.
I'm
Let's
like,
bring
go
him in
team.
here. Johnny
Go
Dean.
team.
What up, Johnny?
What's happening, man?
How you feeling, buddy?
I was going to try to sneak in, man, but I forgot to change my name.
Should have put yourself as Jason Swade.
Yeah, so damn.
Shaw would never let him in.
Yo, ladies and gentlemen, if you don't know Johnny Dean, more NFL edition, Thursday nights, definitely doing great things. What are you thinking about these bowls, man? And this jersey your boy got on over here.
Not so much the jersey, but the bowls are okay.
Right.
At least he's got the light down of coming from behind him, so it's not glaring and blinding everybody.
Right.
It's not affecting your eyesight today. Good. We're good.
For now, don't move.
Right.
And if it flares on that, no way. Don't speak too soon.
That Arkansas game was crazy, man.
Oh, that was insane.
55, 53, with 3 overtimes?
Yeah,
Three,
Three
Yeah.
overtimes, yeah. Man,
It was-
Jalen Daniels, I feel so bad for this kid because the numbers he finished with 37 of 55, 544 passing yards, 5 touchdowns, 2 picks. And had he not been knocked out of the game with that targeting there, I think they might have won that game.
Yeah.
I can see it.
That whole
can
off
we-
the foot thing, man. I was like, I watched that off the foot thing about 5 times
Yeah.
back to back. I was like, holy shit, look at this.
Right.
Yeah,
But
it's,
yo, can we talk about how this thing was 38-13 at one point? This
Yeah.
In
thing
the
was
middle of the
books.
third quarter.
Yeah.
Right.
I turned it off. I thought it was over with. Like,
What a boring game.
Man.
that's what I was thinking at 38-13, and then I like flip back and I'm like, oh my god. Like,
I'll
I
turn
thought,
the
like, once
game
they
off
have-
in the
once-
first half, but I won't never turn one off in the second half because that's when teams make adjustments. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
And,
And
it's
at halftime?
it's almost always the guy who's behind because they have something to adjust to.
Mhm.
Well, that's
bad.
the thing though, is this game it was 38-13 at like 6 minutes left in the third quarter.
Right,
So
I know.
it was 10 minutes of the second half. I was like, okay, this ain't changing. I'll flip it off. And then we started checking the scores for all these other games, and I see it, and I'm like, oh my god, like
Just,
we're
just,
at
ask
a
Alex,
one-score game again.
just ask Alex Schomberg about walking out of a stadium. You know,
Yeah, he's got a pretty nasty one where he walked out of it.
I left one time and everybody's just fucking just.
but that one,
It was
I have all
the
fucking
Bucks Rams
games I went
playoff
to
game
that
from
came back
last
and
year.
won. The one game was that they came back and won that I was there for was the Rams game. Okay. I was wearing fucking shorts in cold ass fucking weather. I didn't prepare. All right, fuck. And I saw a score. I was like, okay, it's either get sick and get pneumonia.
wait a minute, that's the
stay
first
out
time
here,
you ever said anything about wearing shorts in cold weather. When you talk
Because when I saw the
report,
weather report of that game, it says to me 91 degrees. And I get to the game, and it's cold as fuck. I was like, someone fucking lied here.
How's it going, Ben?
Hey guys, good
98
evening. How
degrees
you doing?
indoors. What's going on, Ben? How you
What
doing,
up?
man?
Good, man. How you guys doing?
As you know, FSU plays tomorrow. What are you expecting from that?
I think it's going to be a really good game.
Yep.
I'm not saying this because I'm Florida State, but I think they're going to win. I mean,
I
they got
do
a
too.
much complete team, and pretty much everybody's playing. I think
I'm
Oklahoma's
notorious
got
for
some
dogging
good
FSU, and I think we're
What's
going
that?
to win. I'm notorious for dogging FSU, and you know that. But I think they're going to win. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they got the better quarterback, better defensive team, which is kind of surprising since
Mhm.
Brenton Venables is a defensive mind, but we didn't see that this year in their games. So.
True. But yeah, he has to get his recruits. Let's hopefully. Well, we'll see.
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen this game as a blowout. Like I've seen this game as like Oklahoma just gets ran out the building.
Yeah,
Oh, that scares
Hey,
me.
Sean, I give you guys credit on the. I give you guys credit. Like, I don't know why, or like when the Oregon runs, like they'll go straight, it's fine. It's just the outside runs. North Carolina stops them every time. I'm like, why y'all keep going back to that?
Oh yeah, we got speed. We got speed on the edges,
I
but
give you
we don't have
I
size.
don't want to keep going back to that. I'm like, it's not working for you guys every time y'all do that.
I personally
you had a power
appreciate
run game to the outside.
Yeah, they don't like for like the plays that goes like straight through. It's no problem. It's just those outside runs. It's like, what if it's not working the first time? Why try it again? Like, you gotta like surprise them. Like they're making it too obvious when they're doing those kind of runs. To the point where like North Carolina's like stopping them like literally with no gain at all.
And then they just ran that one right up for the first down.
Yeah, they threw that one.
But look, yo, Nathan, you still here?
Yes, I am.
Yo, so we brought up something yesterday on the round table. I want to get your thoughts, and then also Johnny Dean, because I know you guys have talked about your offensive coordinator Greg Roman. There's been a lot of chatter about your quarterback. Okay, we're just talking. We're not saying this is going to happen. There's been a lot of talk about your quarterback potentially leaving or not getting paid or whatever, what have you. What are your thoughts about that, or is your thought that maybe the coach and OC need to go?
Okay, for me, there's a lot behind the scenes we don't know. In defense, I don't know what DaCosta and the crew. I don't know what they offered Lamar. Let's just get that out the way. This offense, honestly, this year is just depressing to watch. Even with Lamar out there, I think they're just putting way too much on his shoulders.
And
you good?
Feeling good, Nate?
I told you, Greg Roman ruins people, man.
So you just start talking about it, man.
I went out.
Oh,
yeah. You're back.
Not
You're back.
a fire on my head. The next comment. That's not a fire. That's a Seminole, buddy. Respect it.
Vampire in your head.
You must be an Oklahoma fan.
Hey, Alex, send that to Handy. Send the link to Handy.
Okay. We'll do.
All right.
Yeah.
Oh, you got Alex?
Yeah, I'll do it.
But yeah, keep going, Nathan.
I just think that Lamar's outgrown this system because I mean he's only played 12 games with Rashard Bateman. The running game at times is mildly inconsistent. I mean, you've got J.K. Dobbins and Gus Edwards. J.K.'s still not 100%. I mean, the play calling is just makes no sense. I'm still trying to figure out how we only put up 3 points against the Cleveland Brown that team and somehow beat the Pittsburgh Steelers.
That Steelers
game saying more so. I mean, it's more so what Johnny said all last year. Now I can see why he complains about him. His offense is just too one dimensional.
Mm-hmm.
It's too much like he says he changes it, but it's literally the same offense as last year.
Every
changed.
I don't know if you've noticed it, Nate, but when Lamar's out, the running game gets better. This year, anyway. The thing is, Craig Roman gets a quarterback like this, like Colin Kaepernick, and just abuses the hell out of them. Doesn't develop them. He just throws them out there and wears their bodies out and throws them, discards them, and it's ridiculous because it's an outdated offense. It's outdated as hell, man. You got a quarterback,
run games being.
You got quarterback and you got running backs on that team that can. You got a full team. You can play a really developed offense, but Roman doesn't know how to make one.
It's not those adjustments that he's supposed to make because I've seen there's a huge difference between having a pocket quarterback and then a running quarterback. It's a huge difference in the offensive scheme you had to do. It's like there's no meat in the middle in that aspect of trying to fix it and adjust that one.
Well, there's hope for people that want Greg Roman out of Baltimore because there's another quarterback like that coming into the league. So maybe he goes wherever Anthony Richardson is and tries to do it with him.
I don't know what my main issue is. What is going on with John Harbaugh? Why is Greg Roman still in that building? John Harbaugh has fired offensive coordinators four games before the playoffs. You know,
It's a power thing.
It's all right.
It's a power
Jim,
thing.
you go from Jim to John, and they neither one of them want to fire you. Somebody's got pictures, man.
The reason I think Roman is still there is because as one-dimensional as the offense has been and everything, I mean, this year you're locked into the playoffs. Last year it fell apart because of injuries. Like there's excuses to be made on why it didn't work. What needs to happen is a fully healthy year where it clearly doesn't work, and then he'll be out the door. Mm-hmm. Until then, he's going to be stuck there.
He's never going to have a fully healthy year with that offense.
That's the thing.
That shouldn't be the excuse. When you're watching your offense mildly struggle in the red zone and you still can't figure it out, players in post game talking about, we just got to get better. It took John Harbaugh after the Cleveland game, we got to get better at passing the football. We're 27th in pass. That's mediocre. That's below me. Those are not. That's not exceptional. That's ridiculous.
Well, Nathan, I was gonna say I'm sorry, real quick. It seems like John Harbaugh has the Bill Belichick syndrome. You know, he just doesn't want to change his ways, no matter what. And I think it's affecting this team.
I think Harbaugh is stuck in the Super Bowl. I have a ring. I think it's a power thing. I think it's just the way power is just set up in the organization. It's like everything it goes through Harbaugh, and it should be the other way around, and that's concerning to me. Even there's just no accountability. There's no I have to make my team better. He's not doing that because
he defers all the time. He completely defers all the time. He defers to his quarterback on fourth down situations. Come on, man. He's got to stop and be like he was when he had Flacco there. Pretend Lamar Jackson is Flacco, okay?
My bad. It's a fucking idiot. Fucking idiot.
So Bo Nix on
Let's
third,
go, Bo!
Whatever, ran and dove 1 yard.
Let's go! Let's go, move, baby.
Oh no!
Let's go.
Why the fuck would you run on that shit? You fucking idiot.
Let's go, Bo.
There you go, right there, baby. Florida State. Let's go.
What the fuck? Oh my gosh.
Let's go.
Why do you go for it on 4th and 7 from the 27?
Oh, they did. This is great.
And Bo Nix threw it at the receiver's feet.
That wasn't Bo Nix.
That's not Bo Nix. Oh, yeah, that's not Bo Nix.
It was like number 18 or something like that.
It's Anthony Brown.
Anthony Brown is secretly back and just became
he really is. He's in the fucking
ladies and gentlemen. So what we're talking about is the North Carolina versus Oregon game. North Carolina has a 21-14 lead with about 5 minutes to play.
A 5-minute drive. You do
that.
See, this is that.
Bo Nix had started off pretty good early. They got those.
Wait, no, that was Nix. That was Bo.
That was Nix. I think was that Nix?
I saw 18 on the jersey.
No, it was 10.
I thought I could have sworn I saw like the fucking the line. I was like, who the fuck is number 18?
I went back and looked just to make sure it wasn't a new.
I saw 18. I was like,
I'm
not seeing shit. I was like, who the fuck are they putting it back at 4th and 7? Why don't you just go for the fucking? You know what?
Yeah, you got to kick the field goal there. You have to kick the field goal there.
I appreciate
that fucking Van Lanning bullshit I keep telling everybody about.
Ex-Georgia. Look, we got 3 guys down here that are Buccaneers fans, and we're talking about the draft. You guys know your quarterback may or may not be there next year. This might be, might be having to really try to search for something new. What do you guys think coming, with these college guys? What do you guys think coming in the draft? What are you guys looking at?
Prayer.
I'll go first.
I think offensive lineman. Like, you gotta address that early.
Absolutely.
Because honestly, like you see it this year. The offensive line with the injuries they had, to people filling in.
Ryan
That game
Jensen's
against
in practice.
Arizona, like that, it's just so much shit going on with that offensive lineman with on top of the injuries that we already have. You gotta get somebody to, take whose spot. Mister, I get holding penalties every fucking game.
Jensen, 76.
No, it's number 76, Donovan Bum-ass Smith.
Last name Smith.
Donovan Smith.
He needs to go for sure.
Yeah,
I'd like to keep him around, not at the pay he's getting, but I'd like to keep him around as rotation.
Yeah, that ain't happening
for a run.
That's not happening.
Yeah, it's not.
I saw
he's definitely not going to get that pay wherever he goes.
Well, guys, I mean, I think what you got to do is you got to draft a left tackle, but you got to keep Smith for at least one more year, until this guy develops. And then after that, I think his guaranteed money is out the window. So
just focus on losing to the Panthers. Wow.
Let's go. Keep pounding. Ding.
Well, Ryan Jensen's in practice. Yay.
That's a good sign for if you guys make the playoffs.
Right.
If we beat the Panthers.
Yeah.
A huge if.
If you win, you're in, correct? You win the division.
Yeah.
If you win this
either team wins out, right?
If the Bucks happen to lose, they have to win against the Falcons the next game,
and the Saints would have to beat the Panthers, correct?
Right.
Yeah, I think so.
I don't. Wait a minute. I don't think.
I think it's we had to win at least the last.
You just got to win
last
this week.
Yeah, because the Panthers have the tiebreaker against us. If we lose to them, then they're going to be in.
Right, but if we beat them this week, we'll get in because
you're in. You clinch. Yeah,
wins. Yeah, we'll clinch the division.
Oh, you clinch with a win this weekend.
We've been clinching all season long. What are you talking about, man?
No, that's clinching.
We're not talking about what you do on the toilet, Johnny. We're just talking about the Bucks.
Let's get it, Alex. Man, Detroit had a great draft a year ago, and then we're seeing all the pieces on that team that are showing out, and Hutchinson and Williams and all that. What are your thoughts, man? What do you think you guys look at? I know you don't want quarterback yet, but what do you think you guys would look at from the draft?
Defense, and more defense. This offense is set up. I think. I believe them when they say Goff's not the bridge guy for a year or two. Like he's in their plans for the next few years. So to me, if you can steal a Jalen Carter, I think Will Anderson, I don't think there's any way he's there by the time we pick. But just with the run on quarterbacks, that's bound to happen. If we can steal a Jalen Carter, please do that. Mm-hmm. But I think an interior defensive lineman, one last edge rusher, although James Houston is playing very well, so might not be as big of a need. But we need another corner to play alongside Jeff Okudah. I'm looking at Christian Gonzalez from the Ducks. I'm looking at Joey Porter Jr. from Penn State, Antonio Johnson from A&M, and there's I'm looking at Keely Ringo from Georgia still. Most of those guys are going to be with our pick, not the Rams pick. To me, at the Rams pick, it's either Jalen Carter or Joey Porter Jr.
Stay away from Joey Porter Jr. Dan.
Nope.
Yep, stay back off. That's a Bucks guy. That's a Bucks. No. We've suffered too much.
We ain't getting to you.
No. Stop that shit right now.
If we don't pick him, he's going to Pittsburgh. Book it.
We're going to take him.
He ain't going to be there by the time you guys pick. No shot. Not a chance.
Well, I was going to say we'd move up to get him, but we won't move up.
Yeah, you guys don't move up. Yeah, no.
we won't move up. We've suffered too much at the hands of Joey Porter. No, screw that shit, man. I don't need a damn son kicking her ass, too.
No, Johnny. No.
No. But I think secondary and the front four. I think that's what's got to be fixed. The linebackers, I think you can deal with it with Derek Barnes, Malcolm Rodriguez, and then go get one guy in free agency, we have about $40 million to play with. So go get a veteran linebacker to lead those two young guys. Finish off that front four with one interior guy, one edge guy to play across from Hutchinson. And like I said, another corner to play across from Okuda.
When you draft your linebackers, what do you look? You personally, what are you looking for? Power or speed?
I like a mix. So like I like at least one linebacker to be that quick sideline to sideline guy. I like another guy to be that thumper, which is kind of what we're missing now. Because Rodriguez and Barnes are both those sideline to sideline speed guys.
Right.
So I'm looking for one of those thumpers, that guy in the middle to lay the hammer when needed.
Yeah,
Let's go.
I think that's what the Bucks could use too.
You know what's kind of weird, Alex, is that the Rams they're winning right now, so your pick kind of goes down a little bit.
Yeah, we went from 4th to 7th, so not good.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're probably going tomorrow this weekend too.
I could see it.
Oh, you know what's weird? Apparently, they're saying that Baker could be their quarterback long term.
He's winning with them now.
Now,
Oh,
I would sign him to a 1-year contract next year.
yeah, absolutely. Especially because I fully think Stafford's gone. I fully expect him to retire.
Yeah.
So take that 1-year
speaking
deal
of
with Baker.
Rams.
You guys are winning right now.
What's going on?
You guys are
Scott?
starting to win with them. See if you can win next year with them. Why not?
Great, we get the Rams talking. Look who's hitting.
Yeah, buddy.
So did Alex already do his prediction for Saturday?
For my game, yeah.
What was it
I
again?
did 42-17, I believe. Or 35-17 is what it was. And I had Georgia over Ohio State 42-24.
Yeah, Alec, what was yours?
I had Michigan 38-28.
Okay.
I feel like it's one of those situations where like the TCU tries to get like that last minute touchdown towards the end. You know what always happens in bowl games or
To make it look better.
Yeah.
I'm the lone wolf on this one. I'm going Ohio State, man.
You know why?
I
You know
think
exactly
if
why you're
Ohio
doing
State,
that.
if Ohio State goes out there and speeds up the game and wears that defense down of Georgia's, they can win the game.
He's talked himself into it so we can get an Ohio State, Michigan.
Yes. That's the reason why I'm doing that. But actually, they can do that.
I don't need that stress that week, Johnny.
Yes, you do.
Yes, you do.
No, I don't. No, I don't.
That would be extra stress.
You can
And
handle.
not only
your
that, but
Ohio
Michigan
State.
beats them again. Jim Harbaugh rides out in the sunset and goes to
There it is.
Indianapolis next.
No, he's
Wow.
not going to the
I
NFL.
can see
He's
that.
leaving
No.
again.
100%.
No.
He's got to need
Going-
2.
I got my ring. Now I can go to
So good.
Indianapolis, Ursay, private plane.
Anthony, to answer your question, just because I'm ignoring Ben at this point, I had Georgia 42, Ohio State 24.
I got
And it's gonna hate me
Georgia
this week.
41, Ohio State 31.
Okay.
41-31. And I got Michigan. Actually, I got Michigan 37-20 over TCU.
Okay.
The first half's going to be ugly, right?
I expect TCU to get out to a 10-plus point lead early, and then Michigan just manhandle them the rest of the way.
Yeah, that's kind of
Scott Taylor, don't let Jason see that. He's going to get jealous.
Absolutely. Yeah, I have Michigan TCU. I got 24-17. That Ohio State game, I got a 38-31. I think Ohio State's gonna.
Okay.
They're gonna torch. They're gonna go up deep. I think who was it? Colin who said it.
What did
That
you say?
Ohio State's taking. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I thought of that as soon as it came out. Nope. Yo, I think they're gonna definitely throw the
Buckeyes throwing balls early.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, I could even see Ohio State getting out to an early lead, like
Yep.
Yeah.
14-0 even, but then Georgia comes back.
Just
So
grinds it down. Exactly.
grinds it down, yeah.
The only thing is, I think if you let a team like Ohio State get out to that big a lead that early,
Yep.
they're a good enough team. They can hold
Now,
on to anyone.
my only issue with that is that if they had all their complementary running backs and they can salt the game away with that, I think then it'd be something where, Georgia wouldn't come back. But I just don't. I think it's almost like when Chip Kelly was with the Eagles, where you had that early lead, you jump out 24-0, but you can't hold the other team off because you can't slow down your offense. So I'm wondering if
I don't think them running at the end of the game would help them at all. That would work in Georgia's advantage right there.
Right.
And I expect Ohio State, instead of running the ball to control the clock, a lot of these slants, 5-yard ins, 5-yard outs, the wham routes outside. I expect a lot of those short, the dink and dunk passes just down the field, just keep killing the clock. 7-8 minute drives of just short pass, short pass, short pass, short pass, run, short pass, long pass.
They gotta keep that defense on the field. They gotta keep Georgia's defense on the field. And be better at third down and be better at third down stopping. They can't let Georgia eat up the dink and dunks and those short runs and stuff and get into a rhythm where they're getting those third downs like that, man. That'll kill them.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. For sure. So, all right, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna go ahead and cut this thing because I want to go ahead and watch the rest of this game. And my producer, my fiance, is hitting me up like, "Where are you?" So I appreciate you guys coming on here. We definitely have to do this again. Definitely stay tuned to a lot of the bowls. NFL edition, guys. When's the next time you're going on? Are you going on tomorrow night?
Tomorrow night. Yep. 9 p.m. Eastern.
And
then Ben at 10. Yeah.
Maybe 6:58.
It's Oregon's ball.
What?
It's Oregon's ball. What the heck?
No.
We just punted it. What happened?
What happened there?
I honestly don't know what the heck happened. I didn't even hear the whole call.
We got to get off the show now.
That was a turnover.
Come on.
NC, come on.
I guess an ineligible.
What are y'all doing?
I think.
So, but how did y'all get the?
Oh, it wasn't even his jersey. What the heck?
Oh,
come
it was a double
on
number
now. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we got to get off of here. What? 42. All right.
I'm so lost in this play. I'm not sure what the heck happened. That confused the heck out of me.
Well, they got the ball, so you should be happy, Alec.
If we could score, gotta get this offense downfield.
All right. So you had two players of the same jersey number on the field, I think, is what happened.
Oh, what the fuck?
And so they just give you the ball? Like what?
Well, because of the penalty and the yards advance, right?
Oh, by the way, John Cena returns to SmackDown Friday night. They showed on this.
Yeah. All right, ladies and gentlemen. This one's in the books. All right. This is terrible. Hey, we'll see you again. Let's talk college football. We'll be back on Saturday to hit you with some of the news and notes and some of the transfer portal stuff. Hey, for myself, my guy Alex Loosemore, that duck over there, Johnny D, Jason Sway will tell you. Ben Cornett and my guy Nathan Snell. We will be with y'all next time. Hey, take care. Watch the rest of these bowl games. Go Tar Heels.
See you guys later, man. Later, Nathan.
Thanks, Sean. Appreciate it. Thanks. See you guys.
Yeah, definitely. Peace, guys.
Alex Mooselore.
Wow.